Guys, it's Epic Underworlds, and I'm back with another updated PCG overview. This one is of my second PCG I ever made, Tribal War. By the way, I just want to mention, this awesome playmat is by Skyscape in the background. If you want to go get yours, I'll leave a link in the description to the place where you can get them. I just ordered a few more, and I'm super excited for them to come. His art is crazy on this. Go check out Skyscape. But anyways, let's get back to my second PCG ever. So after I show you guys Mech Strike in the last video, which is my first PCG, I made not a sequel, but a game that took place on my other planet, Toten, of my trading card games. And this one introduced new characters, and since then Toten has kind of moved away from my preconception of it having these barbarians and stuff and turned into like a half ghost empire and nation of stuff. And like I should even say Toten really hasn't gotten many lore games based on it ever since this game, so I really should go back and add more stuff to Toten because it is one of my original planets. Yeah, this is kind of the style of the cover I used to have. I would have the title surrounded by spikes. I would have the planet it was on, maybe a character, created by Epic Worlds PCG, compatible with Mercado. So apparently I knew about Mercado during this time. This says 4 new characters, new items, new worlds, new optional rules, and new monsters. So I was really kind of breaking the barrier of what people knew as classic PCGs, and I added a lot of rules early on. So yeah, this was the cover. Getting on to the first screen, kind of like Mech Strike, you got to choose your character, an item, and a shield. I never wikied any of these guys, but they are kind of cool to look at. This is X-Zone Sniper. Sniper, I remember him from my card. Viking Warrior, Zedagar, Tongo, and there's just some cool items you could get. So this puzzle is actually kind of cool because I'm pretty sure when I played this, I like turned off all the lights in my room and just had like a very faint shadow going on it. So kind of simulated that you were in this forest. There's that little dead guy there, and there is this kind of vampire werewolf arachnid dude that will try to hunt you down. The puzzle here, as I remember, you had to dig up this grave to get a weapon to kill him, and there's also some other items. Then you see there's a cave, and when you go in the cave, you see that there's a bunch of dudes kind of stringed up in there. Whenever my friends play this, they didn't save any of these dudes. Like, these could have gone on to be super important characters in like my future storylines, but nobody ended up doing, and they're still there. So yeah, I guess they'll just be there forever unless someone plays this. As you notice, I didn't draw the giant spider boss here because I ended up having a paper miniature for it. So when I used to play PCGs, we would have all these paper miniatures. I would have a whole binder of them, and it was actually really fun because now I play PCGs online, but I used to play them in person a ton. So that was a really fun thing. There's some eggs. I think if you took one, you had gained like special ability or something. Then you had to move these. Yeah, I think you had to eat an egg. You would get really strong, and then you could move those boulders. Then you get out of the cave. There's some wheat there. There's a tree. The puzzle here is you had to craft a boat to get over this 15-foot river. I was very specific there. I guess I didn't have a script on any of these. I kind of just freestyled it. So I actually wrote notes on the page. I even wrote tree, wheat, you start here. So a lot of stuff that didn't make it look as clean as it probably should. Then these are just some hill tortoises. They're basically moving hills. I added those just because I wanted to add a little exploration, and it says the rolling hills because these creatures could actually roll around. None of my players ended up using them, but you could actually use them to use as a shield almost. Then you get to this screen. This one is over a giant chasm. There's a broken bridge. You can go over here to a spike pit, and if you go there, yeah, I hardly remember anything about this screen. There was like these zones that these explosives would blow up in, so you had to be super careful. But living in that hermit hut, there was like a Master Yoda or something, some old hermit dude that would give you a staff so you could somehow get over this chasm. Right there's a Tiki Nuki, or I later made them originate on Gondo, but this game kind of decanonizes that because I guess they originally popped up on Toten. So I'm actually learning stuff as I go over my old PCGs, so that's awesome. That Tiki Nuki would take you to his home village where you could enter here, and then they would kind of force you to go over here. I don't remember you could ever get to that ship. You know, sometimes you just got to draw some fun stuff. Players should just feel like they're in an actual world. They don't have to explore everything, but you know, it just gives your game more depth though. So the thing is, the game could end here if you're really polite to the king of the Tiki Nukis and you accept all of his customs, and then you could live here. But if you do one small mistake, you cannot say save game. You're immediately thrown into a giant dungeon. Okay, and this screen's actually super cool because Zach recently showed his PCG Balzac Globotron, like the final part. There's a screen that looks almost exactly like this, and I didn't even know that game even existed during this time. Maybe this is just like a popular screen to make. So they take all of your items, as you can see, gear confiscation, and then they have these like zapper things.
There's Fungizoid.
I don't know why he's there, but that's awesome. There's Tutorial Bot. I don't know if that's canon or not. He's just chilling in a random cell. They throw you in this cell, and then, oh my goodness, I remember playing this with my friend. I had these like awesome miniatures for the arena part. Like, as you can see there is no monsters as you can that you can see on the screen, but I remember bringing out these like full out models of giant beasts, and we would roll dice, and just this is the most fun boss battle of the system that I currently had during that time to play PCGs ever. Like, it was so cool. It was so memorable. There was like one last fight. I think I even made a video about it that I never posted. There was like this giant dragon. I used a sculpture from HeroScape, which is an old game I used to play, which is actually coming back. But there was a giant dragon here, and he had his little paper minute. He had 1 heart left, guys. 1 heart left for this system that you're playing in, and he critical hitted that dragon, and oh my goodness, like, we were screaming so loud at his house, and it was so much fun. But yeah, that was the most memorable part about this PCG. You know, in boss battles in PCGs, like with the normal system, you don't really feel that adrenaline because you can always say save game. But if you have like some advanced systems, you know, you can always make boss battles a little bit more fun if you add like save game tokens, so they can only save game a few times. It just adds a little bit more excitement to your PCG. So feel free to experiment with your games, guys. Like, I would take this concept and use it in future boss battles. Like, I'm even using save game tokens now, and I'm actually trying to develop a new system to play PCGs, like, so we can have multiple systems which anyone can choose from. So I think that this PCG really taught me a lot, and I hope you guys enjoyed this overview. See you in the next video.